Hello, YouTube. I am Pinstar, and this is Banished, Strategy and Tactics, Episode 8. When we last left our intrepid village of Ficklewood, we have just finished our sheep pasture. Still stoked about that, so stoked. And I thought I would take a moment here while we wait for people to start harvesting back up some resources before we continue our expansion here, to explain why I'm so excited about having sheep here. And that is because of warm coats. Now, I mentioned warm coats briefly before, but I didn't really go into detail why. So allow me to go into some detail here. So what I'm going to do here for our coats, now that we have some local sheep providing some wool, albeit a very small amount of wool at the moment, I'm going to tell them to start making warm coats, and I'm going to set your coat limit to effectively huge. So here's the reason why. Right now I have two hunting lodges that are providing me with leather and venison. But leather I'm concerned about at the moment. And from these 6 sheep, I am going to be getting a very, at the moment, very modest amount of wool. But as my herd grows, the amount of resources I get from them will be larger and will eventually catch up to my leather production from my hunting lodges. The net effect is that by telling my tailor here to start making warm coats right now, even though we don't have any warm coats or any wool to make into warm coats at the moment, we'll be getting it soon. I'm basically telling them to stop producing hide coats and to save all the leather that we have right now for warm coats. And I'm getting low on tools here. If I start to get really low, I'll switch them back to iron. In fact, you know what? I'm going to switch them back to iron now. Now, why am I so excited about warm coats? Well, reason one is that they are worth quite a bit at the trading post, but that's not really the power of them. You see, in order to understand why I'm so excited about warm coats is to understand how the warmth mechanic in the game works. Now, warmth is kind of a nebulous. Let me click on you. Let me click on somebody. Here. Okay, so we can see, we can't really see how warm a person is, but just like hunger, warmth is an important attribute to a person, and just as a person, when they get hungry, they'll go and find food. When they get cold, they will go and find warmth. Now, the way a person gets warmth is that they go home into their house and they burn some firewood or some coal that they may have stolen out of the market. Still annoyed about that. And they use that and basically start up a fire in their house and get warm. And once they're nice and toasty warm, they head right back out and continue about their day. What's interesting about coats and warm coats, to be exact, is having a coat slows the decay of heat from their bodies when they are outside. Obviously, the ambient temperature is going to impact how quickly they lose warmth. And let me pause my explanation here while I deal with this trader. Ooh, an alternate form of plants here. Okay, I'll bite. I'm always paranoid about a walnut blight hitting me and wiping out all of my trees. So this will give me something good to mix in. And I don't need to buy anything else. So, well, actually, there is something I do want to order from you. And that is, do you have them? Yes, bean seeds. Once we actually purchase them, I will explain why I am ordering bean seeds specifically. But for the moment, I am ordering bean seeds. That is my story. I am sticking to it. And away you go. Okay, so as I was saying, um, the coat a person has on at the moment will impact the rate of heat loss. And obviously, lacking a coat completely, meaning that they've worn out of their coat but there's no coats to replace them, will effectively make them naked and completely susceptible to heat loss. So, warm coats are more effective than hide coats or wool coats. I don't know if it's exactly double effectiveness, but it's higher. It's noticeably higher. So, why is this a good thing? Well, the warmer the coat is, the slower their loss of body heat while they're out in the field. The less often they get cold from losing too much body heat, the less often they have to interrupt their work and return home to warm themselves. The less often they return home to warm themselves, the less they use up firewood to actually physically warm themselves. So there's a cascading effect of benefit to actually having having these warm coats on my citizens. So with the 51 hide coats that I have stored up here, I want all future coats to be warm coats, and I want my citizens to use it. If there are hide coats and warm coats in the market, the citizens will be smart enough to actually grab the warm coats when they need a coat replacement. They know quality when they see it. So that is my goal here, and that's again why I'm so excited for sheep. All right, so we've got some laborers here. Actually, let's get you guys building that house. Now, one other thing I made an error on is, and the other reason why a 10 by 20 pasture here is so efficient is you don't actually need two herdsmen to take care of a flock in that. A 20 by 20, yeah, you'll need two herdsmen, but one herdsman can handle a 10 by 20, so it makes them very efficient. And that means that we have this house here that's housing one job down here, but there's an open slot for another one. Well, I think I know what I want to do with that. And it's always best to build this when you don't need it, and that is a hospital. Ooh, that's expensive. Well, let me place it and pause it, so at least I remind myself to do it. So now, why am I placing it here? I mean, you might think, Pinstar, if someone gets sick, they're probably going to be near the city center. You want to give them easy access to that. Well, I discovered something interesting about hospitals and disease outbreaks, and that is that even if you have a hospital already, all staffed, good to go, and a disease breaks out and all the disease victims run to the hospital and everyone who's infected gets into that hospital, it can still spread to people walking alongside the road outside the hospital. I made this mistake in a later town where I had my hospital sitting right next to my market, and the disease persisted for years because people would wander outside the hospital, get infected, and then go into the hospital for treatment, and then more people would walk by the hospital, get infected, and then run to the hospital. So it didn't actually kill anybody, but it sure stuck around for quite a while. So by putting the hospital in this out-of-a-way area, it's going to limit the exposure and hopefully nip the disease in the bud. But before I build that, I'm going to finish this stone house. And I have a feeling before they even touch that, they're going to harvest all of the stone that I told them to, which is good because we're going to need it. My poor overworked forests. I'm going to need to get a third forest hub up and running pretty soon at this rate. Did I turn off cutting for you? I did. No wonder. All right, guys. Chop chop. Pun intended. Okay, so that should, knock on wood, also pun intended, solve our lumber problems and give this poor forest a break. And then once all of that is taken care of, we should be good to go. Iron tools. Oh yeah, you don't even have logs. Well, you have enough. All right, I'm going to put you back on steel. Yes. Reserve of logs is low. Oh, the yield's improved over here finally. Should be getting some good. Oh yeah, plenty of food. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is once this gets built, build the hospital, build the maybe build another house here so I can get 2 more of these fields activated with cherry seeds. Probably build a storage barn at this point because I'm going to need the extra storage space. And then put up my long neglected quarry. Now, a couple of users have been asking me on the boards, Pinstar, why are you going to bother with a quarry in the first place? Isn't it cheaper or better to trade for stone? It is, actually. And that's one of my minor complaints at the moment is that the power of trading for stone, especially with firewood, is extremely powerful and makes a what should be a bottleneck resource into a non-bottleneck. And it kind of makes things a little on the easier side. But at the moment, I have not actually run into any resource merchants that have been selling or even allowing me to order stone. So it might be 2 or more merchants before I even get a chance to buy some stone. So building a quarry is going to give me a stopgap supply of stone while I wait for to get my trading in order. Okay, so yeah, now my logs are shooting up. Now I've finally turned on chopping for my other forest here. That should give me a break, and that also should give them enough resources to finish this hospital. Man, that's going to take a massive chunk out of my stone supply. Sheesh. All right. All right. So let's crank the speed up a little bit here. Firewood is low. Yes, yes, yes. No, actually, I shouldn't have to be checking for my woodcutters. Pretty soon, all of my uneducated people are, except for you. Really? Oh, Lessa! I remember you. You are once again here to haunt me. Freaking Lessa. You know what, Lessa? I am gonna turn off your woodcutting. Your woodcutting days are over. Stupid uneducated. I'm going to wait for you to die of old age before I turn that woodcutter back on. I am not fighting with you, and I am not having you waste my wood to inefficiently cut firewood. Okay. All right. All right, let me toss up a house here. And oh my, I am rolling in new laborers, new graduates here. All right, well, we got that going. And I know what we're doing here. 1 physician. Okay, so we got a boat. We are protected from plagues. And here's my bean seeds, and I don't have enough for them. Well, oop. 13,125. Well, let's do 1250 and wait for them. Hopefully he'll stick around long enough for me to get the firewood that I need. Wow, that's quick. Alright, we'll make you a cherry. And we'll make you a cherry. And just because I'm a little OCD, we'll make you a walnut. Throw in 3 farmers. You know, it's not the best of time to be blitzing my, refilling my thing, but yeah, there'll be enough to go around. I'd love to re-employ this woodcutter here, because I certainly have the wood, but I don't want it to be Lessa. Oh, okay. You can work there. That's allowed. All right. Because they just had to be unemployed long enough to be convinced that they were no longer needed. Alright, so we got our farmers planting up our stuff. Let's build this storage barn. Alright. Yeah, firewood is low. Yes, yes, yes. Firewood is low. How much does 705 net me? Not enough. Alright, hope you're patient, dude. If you didn't charge me extra, it wouldn't take me so long to buy your ordered stuff. Alright, so that's going up. Firewood is low. More adults. Ooh, shoot, I accidentally emptied my laborer pool. That could have been bad. Alright, so... Alright, barn's almost done. Oh, he got bored. Sorry, dude. Let's bring you back to 625. Well, bean seeds are nice. They are indeed the magical fruit. But another day. Whenever we get our hands on some bean seeds, I will tell you of the joy that is beans. Storage for produced goods. Well, it's a good thing I just built a storage barn. Good timing there. Okay, I think it is time to start setting up my long delayed quarry. No more distractions here. Now, for a location. Now, according to the manual, and I didn't realize this, but it is the manual, there is a happiness penalty if you build the quarry too close to houses. So if I were to stick it, say, right here, everyone in my city center here would be not terribly pleased about it. So, I think what I'm going to do... right up here, because that'll let me run a road right across the top here and sort of skirt around this mountain while still keeping me far enough away from town where I can just build the houses that work in the quarry just around the market, and they really won't have that far to march. Alright, so let's get you pathed up here. Go, and you know what, hey, in case they want to take a trip up there, not the most efficient wrapping, but still not too bad. And just to make an efficient drop-off point for them, and since this is probably going to be, well, yeah, where we go, stockpile. That'll be enough for temporary stone storage. And 3 builders, 1 laborer. We're good. Alright. So how are we doing on these? We're up to 9 sheep already. They breed like crazy. And while I'm getting my quarry going, once this reaches 10, I'm going to be building myself another pasture. Just so I can keep breeding these sheep. In fact, why don't I prime my next pasture area, which I'm actually going to do it across the river here. I want to split up my sheep pastures so that if one of my sheep pastures gets infested, I have an alternate place to do it and I don't lose all of my sheep, because that would make me very sad. I like my sheep. They're sheepy. Whoop, cold snap. Alright, so bridge over here, and this will be sheep land right here. Lots of sheep. Many sheep. Alright, and I should have, yeah, I have all the supplies I need here. Alright, so I think this is actually a logical stopping place, so I think I'm going to cut it here. If you like what you see, want some more, just like, subscribe, and comment. I am always happy for feedback. Even if you want to give a critique to my techniques and point out something I'm doing wrong, please do that, because I thrive on your feedback. Also, give me a follow on Twitter at Pinstar. And until next time, this has been Pinstar. Have a good one, people.